Hello, welcome and namaste. In this video, I will show you how to create a directory application from scratch using Bolt. You probably have seen hundreds of other videos in YouTube that claims the same thing, but all they do is to run prompt in Bolt and then go back and forth fixing the issue and incrementally doing some enhancements. However, in this video, I will take you to the journey of all the pre-work, all the planning work that we need before we build a professional application, such as breaking the idea into small pieces. We call it work breakdown structure, designing the application flow. And even before you do that, thinking about who is your target audience, what are the challenges that you're facing, what is the problem that you're trying to solve. And I will show you industry best practices. So let's jump in. The application that we will build as an example is the SaaS tool directory. I always wanted to build this application for SaaS founder. Today, we have hundreds of applications to do anything that we want, which is a blessing, but at the same time, it's a curse because you get into endless cycle of selecting the right tool for you, which cost time, energy, and you lose the momentum. You don't want to do that. With this directory, I will be building a place for SaaS founders so that they can go and easily select the tool that meets their need, not only for the coding, but also planning, marketing, launch, whatnot. In this directory, I will have how-to videos, I will create review videos, and I will write some content which will help SaaS founder picking a tool to know when to use which tool. Apart from that, I'm also hoping other SaaS founders, other users will come and post their own reviews by telling how they use a particular tool and whether or not it was helpful. I converted those into a initial prompt for Bolt, where we are telling Bolt the objective of this application, the core features, and additional thing that Bolt will do. But before we run this prompt, we will go through a couple of activities to break the idea into small pieces, identify who is our users, define them more on granular level, create personas, and write a customer problem statement. It will be a fun process, trust me. Let's get into it. Whenever you try to build a new application, the very first thing that you want to do is to clearly define who is your target audience, who are the users who will use this application. Multiple ways to do it, but ultimately what you're trying to identify the potential user of your product, who they are, where they live, how do they think, what are their goals, what are they trying to do with this application, what are the pain points that they face today without this application, challenges, fears. So to help with the brainstorming, let's go through this process where we would give her a name. So one of the user is Sarah. She's a non-tech founder. She has done some business education. Her goal is to find a tool to grow her SaaS business. Her challenges: without much tech knowledge, she will not find the right tool. So that's her fear. Challenges: there are so many tools to pick from. Then you go through her age, 28, maybe 38 years, depends upon whoever you're targeting. So here I've created two sample persona. One is Sarah, second is David. David is technical person, Sarah is non-technical person. They both have some goals, challenges, pain point. I've actually have spoken to close to 65 founders and collected a lot of information about how they think, what they do. And then I will go back to them with more information, more questions. Now use this information and convert it into a persona. In this example, Sarah is a 28, 35-year-old woman, and she's from business education, her goals and pain points. Same thing with David. So now we have two personas for this application that we can focus on. Persona can help you write down exactly who you're targeting, and it goes beyond that. Now, whenever you are making a decision, whenever you are trying to decide between options, you can just look at Sarah and David to think what would they need, what they want. So this is one of the methods that you can use to identify exactly who is your target audience, exactly who your user will be. Let's get deeper. Let's try to validate if this is a painful problem that SaaS founders are facing worth solving. Many times we build an application nobody uses because we try to solve a problem that is not a 2 a.m. critical problem. The key is to pick the right problem. The truth is, If your users are not willing to pay for the solution, then the problem is not challenging enough. There is an analogy between vitamin and painkiller. People pay for painkillers because it solves a painful problem, and your application should solve a painful problem. There are many ways you can find a painful problem or validate the idea that you have is actually solving a painful problem. You can do surveys, interviews, you can talk to 20, 25 potential users and ask them open-ended questions and see they are currently facing a problem that you can solve. You can create landing pages, you can use market research data. Now, if I apply this to a SaaS tool directory, I already have an idea, I've already met with few people, but to go through another round of validation, I would be talking to 25 SaaS founders and I will ask them questions such as what are the tool that they're using, how did they pick that tool, and what challenges that they face, what could have been different. So based on that data, I will find out whether or not this problem is painful and whether or not my solution will solve the problem. You use that data to create customer problem statement for your application. This is a very famous template that you can use. You can fill it who exactly your users are, what is their background, what are they trying to achieve, what are the roadblocks that they are facing, and how does this problem make them feel. For the SaaS tool directory, this is one of the example for the customer problem statement. I'm an early stage SaaS founder trying to build my first SaaS product. I'm trying to find user feedback and analytic tool to improve my product and so on. To brainstorm, you can use this Miro template where you can start filling and then you can fill this. You can identify the second type of users, so you can start applying your persona and you can fill this based on whatever information that you have and then go back and validate with your users. Idea napkin is another method to clarify the problem that you're trying to solve and what exact solution that you're providing. Whether you use customer problem statement or idea napkin or any other method, the idea here is you're trying to write the exact problem and solution that you're building, and these things will guide you later so that you will stay on track, you stay on solving the problem, because as you go further in the development process, there are more ideas, there are more fork in the road, and what you want to do is to stay aligned with your core idea, your core problem, your core solution. So I hope this will be useful. Let me know which method you will select. All right, so by now we have an idea, we have persona, we have customer problem statement. So now we know what is the problem that we are trying to solve and who will be our target users. Hopefully you have interviewed 20, 25 people and you have pretty good idea about what this application will do for them. Now let's dive into work breakdown structure. It is the single most impactful tool that I have used in my career that gives me so much clarification of any initiative, any application that I build. I apply this not only to build application, but also for my life, anything, any project, any goal, or any work that I do on a daily basis. Work breakdown structure allow you to break the original idea into small pieces. Next, I will show you two different examples of doing work breakdown structure, and then we go from there. So this is a conventional method of doing work breakdown. In this, at the top level, you have the core idea. Then you divide that into phases, and then under each phase, you will have steps and tasks to accomplish that. For example, building a new website requires design, development, test, and go live. These are the 4 phases of building a website. Under design, you have information architecture to create the site structure. Then you have navigation, you have color scheme, your wireframe. Under development, you will be building home screen, you will be creating other screens, and then possibly a contact form. And same with testing and go live. So you divide the core initiative into phases, and then you define what you will be doing under each of those phase, and then you go further. For example, for homepage, you will have some kind of hero banner, then you will have some kind of content, and then you have more boxes. So you will define all of that as part of the next label. So in this style of work breakdown, you break your work based on their phases. Here's the style 2, where you break the work based on the grouping, the category, the type of work that you will do. For example, let's take wedding plan as an example. Then there are ceremonies, reception, accommodation, and transport, right? These are the top level categories. Then under each, you break it further. For example, reception, you will do food planning, then you will do decor, entertainment, and then under decor, there will be flower, lighting, whatnot. So you keep breaking your initial project, application, or idea into smaller pieces. And that's in the nutshell what work breakdown is structure. It gives you so much clarity about exactly what you need to do to accomplish that bigger plan, bigger project, bigger application. For our tool directory, let's go through the similar type of exercise. At the first level, we will have research, design, we'll have development, and fourth one will have launch. All right. In research, the next level would be user interviews, and then we can do market research. All right. In market research, we can say chat GPT, research articles, whatnot. In design, we will do mockup, wireframe. In mockup, home screen, right, etc., etc. In development, same thing. So you start at the top, you break the work into level 1, then level 2, and level 3. Idea is to keep breaking it until it is small enough to easily manage. All right, so I have filled more information, readjusted thing, and this exercise gave me a lot of clarity about everything that I need to do and where different thing fits. As I will build this application, I will keep coming back to it, not only for direction, but also updating with more information. All right, so this is the second style, and I have divided the application based on the logical grouping of the work. This is agile method of breaking your application into smaller pieces. So at the top, again, we have the initiative, and then we have authentication, the tool discovery, management, user interaction, personalization, and tool submission. You can have a slightly different kind of categories as well, whatever makes sense to you. So now in authentication, the top 2 categories is create account and all, and then application security. Same thing with the other category of work. In tool list, I will have a listing of tool by category, feature tool, same thing with the search, same thing with the submit a tool. So again, same thing, whether I'm using the first style or second style, I can break my work into multiple second level categories, then third level categories, and by the time I'm at level 4, 5, I have a very tangible, very concrete item that I can start finishing. Work breakdown structure helped me calm down. I have the big picture of this application. I know exactly what all needed. Now in this one, I don't have the launch and marketing related, but I can definitely add them later. So summary, level 1, overall application. Level 2, major functional areas. Level 3, specific task under these functional areas, and so on. If you find work breakdown structure more complex and you don't want to do that, then you can also try a simple sticky notes where you can start adding different features that comes to your mind, and then you can move them around to make a logical grouping like this. And it can also serve the purpose where now you have a listing of everything that you need to do. Your idea is more streamlined and broken into smaller things. So regardless of which way you go, do some exercise to break your bigger idea into smaller pieces. All right, so far we have an idea for an application, we have our user personas, we have our customer problem statement, and now we have a work breakdown structure. The next thing that we will do is to define our application flow. It is a very fun activity and you will enjoy it. Application flow is an activity where you try to define a logical flow for a user, how they will navigate from your home screen or login screen to other pages, and it gives you a lot of clarity about what are the different things that you have to build first. So here's an example where your user will go from home screen So here's an example where your user will go from home screen to possibly tool detail screen, and on the tool detail screen they may go to submit rating and then possibly upload your testimonial or how to videos. Same thing, maybe they use the search functionality and then get a search result. From there they can go to the tool screen. If they want to register an account, then they go through the registration flow. Same thing with the sign in, user profile. The interesting part of this flow is you don't have to define exactly what will be on home screen or tool detail screen. This is just a logical flow for your application, and it helps you connect the dot between what are you building first and then second and then next. Also, it gives you a 10,000 feet overview of how different pieces of your application will connect together. I really love this, and then we will go deeper into how these pieces will work. Wireframes are really powerful. They provide you a lot of clarity about how your screens will structure. Again, you have a lot of ideas in your head, but when you start making a wireframe, you able to organize your thought and put it on paper. They don't have to be fancy. There are so many tools that you could use, but drawing on a piece of paper like this will work as well. So this is a home screen for SaaS tool directory, and on the other side I have created a wireframe for the tool detail screen. Wireframes can reduce tremendous amount of rework, because when you put something on paper, it creates conversation, it creates the feedback loop, and also you are able to see something tangible that you can play with and tweak. Mockups are much more sophisticated version of wireframe, where you are also putting exact color name, font name, the type of images that you will be using. While many times you don't have luxury of spending time and money on mockups, it can actually reduce a lot of effort for developer while they are coding. It can also bring a lot of consistency in your code, because you have defined those values prior to development work. The third one is a prototype, which is even more sophisticated, where you can actually see the flow of the application, to see some of the flow that you initially think good, but then once you see it in action, you might want to make some changes. The changes to wireframe, markup, and prototype take some effort, but compared to coding, it's much lesser effort. So let's get going how you can create a wireframe. There are many tools that you can use to do something like this. Miro has some template that you can use. In wireframe, you're using sketches, you're focusing more on the placement of different items. This is a hand-drawn wireframe, and as I was showing, this is another one that I just sketched. Designing wireframe on a notepad remove all the complexity that comes with utilizing a tool like Figma, Miro, or any other wireframing tool. So I suggest doing something like this, at least for the round one. This is a wireframe that I created in Miro using one of the template. It allowed me to have the placement of the elements, and then also some of the data element that I will be needing. Here is example in Figma. Figma is one of the most popular tool when it comes to wireframe and markup and prototyping. So I wanted to show you one of the example in Figma, and this is another example that you could use. There are websites like reloom.io that allow you to create wireframe very quickly using AI, so you can try those as well. So this is all about wireframe, markup, and prototype. I want to make 2 new wireframe search box. So one is search box like this. This will get a navigation, which will become like hero section. And then I will have my search box. Right? Okay. Feature tool section. Category 1, and same thing with category 2 tools. So yeah. Okay, so now this is my home screen. Okay. On the tool detail, we'll have the navigation, description. Okay. Screenshots. I want to make it like, okay, so we got screenshots, description, top 5 features, price in maybe, and then All right. So far so good. How to use tool. And that would be detail. Right. Then I will go how to use this. Rows. User. Okay. I think I want to have one more section here. Best for. I think this will work. Description. Founder name. Yes, that's important. All right. So these my two main screens. We have made a lot of progress. We have our problem statement, we have persona, we have application, work breakdown structure, application flow, and a wireframe. So with that, we will jump into coding. So super exciting. I hope you like everything that I have shown so far. Coding will be more fun now. Let's keep going. Next will be coding with Bolt. So I am going to remove all these features. For technical or non-technical, so allow screen will have a home screen, will have search box, category, feature tool section on home screen. I want to bring this guy here so that I can easily type. So I got features, tool name, description, founder name, price, screenshots, pro and con, who is this for, and user reviews. And I'm going to add this as an example. Okay. So this is my prompt. All right, so are you ready? So we have done a lot. We started with an idea of building a application from scratch. We took a example of SaaS tool directory. Then we went through personas, customer problem statement, work breakdown structure, wireframe, application flow, and all. So here is the original idea and then updated prompt. I eliminated some of the things that are not part of MVP and then added more detail, expanded it. And then also I have created wireframe for home screen. We will have a hero section, search bar, feature tool, and listing by category, and tool detail page where we will have tool name. This is our tool detail screen. So now it's time to run this prompt in Bolt. I'm feeling excited. How about you? So we copied our prompt and then I will go and take a screenshot of our wireframes. So that would be my first wireframe. Then we go to the second one, creating more space here. And all right, so I got the screenshot, copy to the clipboard, the second screenshot. So are you ready? Just a recap, we have a solid prompt. Along with that, we also have two wireframe, one for home screen and second for detail screens. Here you go. This will be super exciting. I'm excited. So it is working on different pieces. All right, so these are the components. There are UI component, which is search bar, hero, tool card, great. These are the features that has been implemented, and then there are more that it will have to include. So now let's go and see what's there. So there is a hero section that matches to this part. So there's navigation, hero section, and search bar. There's no navigation, which is fine. Then we have a search bar, categories, and then there's feature tool, and underneath all tools. I don't think any of the link work. Yes, let's work on the next step. So I'm letting it decide the next step, and it decided to work on the tool detail page. Tool detail page is slightly complex, so let's see what it will do with it. All right, let's see. I've implemented the routing system, created the detail page. So this is done with logo, top features, YouTube embed, search functionality with auto suggestion. So let's see. So here actually able to go to the next screen. So tool detail page is working with some mock data. So let's compare. We have navigation, we have logo, name, description, founder name. Nice. I like this. I like this. This is the video embed, pro and cons. I love it. So screenshot, pro and cons. I think I am not seeing some pieces, but that's fine. I think I'm okay with the implementation that it has. A review and then pro and cons, how to use, who this is for. So this is good. I don't think I'm missing anything, and then visit website is also there. I can live with this much information. I can add more boxes later. Yes, let's work on the suggestion. I also want to highlight matching text in the search result. Also, please create test data. What I have asked it to do is to implement the search functionality, create some dummy data, and then highlight the text as we are typing. It has a TypeScript file where it is creating the data, all the data, and at some point while we are building this application, we will take it to the database. I've implemented real-time search. Search appears as you type. Results are filtered by both by name and description. Great. Matching search, enhance the UI, clean drop-down with tool logo. So let's experience this. There are feature tools, there are other tools. Add more tools to the database, implement search result analytics, add search result pricing feature, implement 20 more test data. So we're gonna go systematically one step at a time. So what I'm asking it to do is to add more test data. I asked 20, which will be sufficient to realistically check how the site is working, how the functionality is working. And then I also ask it to implement the category filter. Added more test data, implement this, added no search result found, improve the UI, different heading based on the search, this feature category filter is now working, and then additional things. So let's try it first. Okay, if I select, I will go. Okay, perfect. So when I typed, it actually filtered the result, which is what I wanted. So let's development, GitHub, design, Figma, marketing. Okay, perfect. So this thing is working. If I do explore tool, nothing happened, which is fine. If I click, then it goes to this page, how to use and all that. If I click categories, I come back on home screen. Okay, so now add more test data, implement additional filling in the preference. We got hero section, we got search functionality, features tool, category. What it does not have right now is showing all tools, which is fine for now. Initially, I won't have that many tools, so it might be okay. At some point, I can do more. I think I want to do load more. Implement a load more feature on the screen. So I'm asking it to do the two. One more thing, like filtered list of tools, updated home screen, test data. Okay, so added more test data, maintain existing search function of this, added type for interface to load more button will appear where there is load tool. Let's see. This is one of the problem with Bolt, that it tried to add more data, but it deleted the previous one. So we are kind of stuck here, but let's test the feature. So it is now highlighting the results, which is what I wanted. If I go to Notion, I can see. All right, so far so good. Let's go back home screen. I think we got everything that we wanted on home screen. Search box feature tool search filter. So the filter is working exactly how we wanted. And then detail screen is also working the way we wanted. So we got tool logo, thumbnail, name, description, founder name, description, logo name, top 5 feature, pro and cons. So we got top feature, pro and cons, how to use, who is this for. So the only thing that is missing is on the tool detail page, keep everything and add how this tool work, how to use, who is this for, how to use this tool, pro and cons, screenshots. So what I wanted to ask, YouTube embed screenshots, how to use this tool. Once we are done with this, the next big thing for us would be to connect to a database. Let's try to connect this to a database. We will use Supabase. Okay. So Supabase is a database as service, and you can create your account. We'll start with a free database. Let's go to my account. So this is my database that's already there. We will create a new database. I will pick a random password. Perfect. And then I will copy this database. We'll select the default. All right, so this is our project. Things are still being created. I will share everything with you, no hiding, but then later I will go back and change some of these keys, possibly create a new database. We'll keep it simple. You will see everything that you need to see. So it's installed all different dependencies. We just did that. Would you like me to create the SQL migration script for the Supabase table? Yes. I created a new Supabase project. Yes, please. I can copy this. I have to ask again. Creating Supabase table. Okay, so project URL key, white Supabase service role key. So go to the Supabase SQL editor, copy and paste the content from this file. Okay, all right, we'll do that. But before I do this, I got the two settings, URL, got that, service role, copy. So we already got it in service role. So now okay, we'll enter that later, but first we have to find Supabase, which is S migration. This is the file that we have to copy. Okay, run it there, copy this. Success. And then if we go back to the file, we have a tool. We have a tool directory, it is empty, which is good, fine. Update environment file. So instead of updating this file myself, I'm going to just send it these value. All right, done. So it's updating all the pages to utilize Supabase. Great. Okay, so updated this, created this, created this, created this. Okay, so let's see. So run command, start application. So this command did not run. Let's see. So database and seeding, updating the package. If you have not done something like this before, I am telling you this can take hours and hours just to do each and every step. But what I am doing here is I'm creating a database, I'm copying the file here and let it decide whatever the issues are and fixing it, except the fact that it's not able to fix it. Let me try to run it myself and see if I can see the actual error. So I could not find best for column of tool in schema cache. So this is the problem. It seems like there's a mismatch between what we are trying to insert and the database that we have created. Okay, so now this command ran. I noticed the error related to the column naming mismatch, which I anticipated. Now they were able to run and we have the data from the database. And then, so here's the tool directory, Figma, Notion. I can edit this. Okay, let's see, we go back here, refresh, and then Figma 2. So I was able to make changes in Supabase and that change is visible here. So we are able to connect our front end with a Supabase database. Now we have to see if this data is coming from Supabase or not. Cons requires good internet. I'm just going to make a change. All right, refresh. We are back to home, learn more, top features, screenshots. Yes, this is good. Perfect. So my idea is I will create application that will pull the data that is publicly available, like top features. And then I will write my custom content, especially here. I will have many articles, not one, but many articles. And then I will have my own video reviews that I will add here. Cool. So with that, we have an application that is working. We developed it using Bolt and we can go back to our requirement. Home screen has feature tool. These are feature tool. Then we have all tools. And then here we have tool logo, name, description, and founder name. So if I go back here, we have tool name, founder name, some description. Then we have a video embed and a screenshot. We got top features, video, screenshots. So go back here, top features, pricing information, link to website. Okay. So top feature, link to website is there. Pricing information is missing. Good catch. Then we have a screenshot, and then we have how to use it, pro and cons. That's there as well. Who is this for, and user review. We will come back to user review at some point. Initially, I don't have user review, so it doesn't make sense to spend more time in building something which is not there. So our application is now working. There are a couple of paths that we can take from here. We can work on admin screen to update these tools or add a new tool. We can write a process that scrap publicly available data to build up the initial tool. We can also build some kind of user driven functionality to allow a tool owner to claim a tool. So there are many paths that we can take. Let's go back to the plan, the work breakdown structure. What we are able to do so far is to build the directory, build the search, build the display that is matching to the wireframes that we made. So far, we able to build the primary functionality that we wanted. It is matching to the markup that we created. What I wanted to do is, while there are so much we could do in this application, I will create a separate video to show all that. But for now, let's move to the next stage. We went through planning, design, development, and now it's time for deployment to a production server and start marketing. So we will cover those steps. If you're using Bolt, then deployment is a click of a button where you click deploy, and it will start deploying your application to Netlify. You can have a paid account or a free account. So it has deployed our application to Netlify. We can go and check application now working from Netlify. You can check that in the URL. And when you click one of the tool, it goes to the tool detail page with all the field that we wanted. Hello, welcome. The video is now working. For whatever reason, when I was trying it on my local, it was not working. These are the screenshots. How to use, who is this for? So everything is working and our application is now deployed. All right, so application development done. Application deployment is also done. There's an option here to open this project in StackBlitz that allow you to do more when it comes to coding, when it comes to reviewing your code. I'm asking it to create a README file for this. So it has created a README file. All the details are there. Then to launch your application, there are many steps, but one of the steps that you will do is to create your listing on Product Hunt. So you can ask Bolt to do that as well. Create a you definitely want to massage it. You definitely want to rewrite it into marketing language and target it to your audience. But it provides you a lot of information that you can use. I can also ask it to create a post for. Okay, it created a thread for you with the features, with your audience and all that. Again, you have to massage it. You have to make it your own. Don't just use the AI written content. So with that, the application is done. It is live and available for our users at Netlify. So at this point, we have built an application from scratch and it is live at Netlify. Just a refresher, everything that we did for this project, this application that we started with an idea. Then we dig deeper into our target audience, their personas. Then we try to define the problem. There are two different templates that we used. One was a customer problem statement, then idea napkin. After that, we jumped into work breakdown structure. There are two different ways to do that. After that, we talk about application flow. And then we spoke about wireframe, mockups. And finally, we started the development process, refined the prompt, and also created more refined wireframe for it. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this video and I hope you will have the similar type of excitement, knowledge with this video. I am going to come back and create more videos like this, more detailed thought process behind building project, not just how to write a prompt. So with that, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next.